Have you ever had the impression that telling your family too much can occasionally backfire? Since complete transparency is always the best course of action, it is only normal for us to want to be open and honest with our loved ones as we age. In actuality, however, certain things are better kept secret, not for secrecy, but for knowledge. Not everything has to be discussed, and in some situations, keeping some things private helps save your relationships and mental health. This video explores 5 topics you might wish to keep private when you turn 65. These are about preserving your freedom, preventing needless stress, and making sure that your personal boundaries are respected. Not about lying or excluding others. The amount of peace that can result from keeping certain things private may surprise you. Read through to the finish, because knowing these 5 things could help you have more flexibility and ease in your latter years by altering the way you interact with your family. Let's get going now. First, financial choices and resources. As we get older, money becomes one of the most delicate subjects. Being entirely honest with your family about your financial status may seem like a good way to avoid misunderstandings, but in practice, it frequently causes more issues than it fixes. When various generations have different perspectives on money, disclosing every detail about your investments, savings, or simply how much you've saved for the future might result in pressure, unwanted advice, or even family disputes. Despite their well-intentions, some family members' worries or viewpoints may come out as intrusion, and regrettably, when people learn how much you have, they may suddenly become quite interested in your finances. You may have witnessed it before. A parent in your age group shares their financial intentions with their kids, only to have their choices constantly questioned. You may have witnessed friends who are constantly under pressure to make better financial decisions, such as downsizing, changing their investments, or increasing their savings for grandchildren. Receiving advice when you ask for it is one thing, but it can quickly become annoying when others begin to feel like they have a say in your personal decisions. The truth is that once you reveal your entire financial situation to others, it is irrevocable. The issue of personal control is another. Your family may feel justified in taking over, sometimes with good intentions, but not necessarily in a way that respects your independence, if they begin to believe that you're not making the best financial decisions. Are you sure you should be spending that much? And wouldn't it be smarter to give some of that away now instead of later? Are some of the remarks you may hear. Furthermore, it might be unsettling to know that people are seeing and evaluating your decisions, even if no one is putting any direct pressure on you. This does not imply that you should avoid discussing money matters with your family. Having precise estate plans and communicating important details at the appropriate time are wise decisions. You don't have to disclose everything, though, including your precise financial situation, personal expenses, and even whether you've made any new investments. You are responsible for handling these matters. It's not secrecy, it's prudence. If keeping certain financial affairs private enables you to live your life free from unwarranted criticism or pressure. The second is non-urgent health issues. It's normal to have more health problems as we get older, and occasionally we feel compelled to tell our loved ones about every little ache, pain, or discomfort. We want them to know what's happening because, after all, they care about us. However, there is a distinction between informing loved ones about significant medical issues and bothering them about every little problem. Sharing every minor health issue with your family can occasionally cause needless anxiety and stress, or even cause them to start making decisions for you before they should. It's possible that you've been in the middle of a discussion about whether to see a doctor, alter your diet, or take a new supplement after bringing up a minor problem like joint discomfort or exhaustion. Although family members, particularly younger ones, usually mean well, their worries can become stressful. They're looking into therapies, setting up appointments, or even saying things like, "You really need to take better care of yourself," as though you haven't been taking care of your own health for decades. This has a psychological component as well. Your family may start to believe that you are deteriorating more quickly than you actually are if you talk about your health problems all the time, even the small ones. They may begin to treat you differently because they believe you are weaker or less capable than you truly are, and it might be challenging to alter someone's opinion of you once they have formed that opinion. All of a sudden, they are reluctant to let you participate in particular activities, doubting your capacity to travel, or implying that you might want additional assistance? All because you mentioned that your knees hurt more than normal that day. Major health issues should, of course, be discussed, particularly if they affect day-to-day functioning or call for family assistance. However, keeping small matters to oneself does not imply dishonesty. It only means you're defending your independence. You have the right to take control of your health without needless stress or treatments. Silence is sometimes the best approach to keep your personal well-being under control. Please leave a number 2 comment below to let me know whether you're still viewing this video and finding these ideas helpful. To ensure you don't miss any videos, I advise you to subscribe and turn on the bell if you haven't already. We can keep producing high-quality content to educate and uplift you thanks to your support. All right, let's proceed. The third is your actual opinions on family disputes. Family dynamics may be complex, and as we age, we frequently find ourselves in positions that we never requested to be in. In practically every family, there will be arguments between siblings over inheritance, resentment from adult offspring, and discord among extended family members. When you've lived long enough, you've witnessed history repeat itself, old wounds reopen, and patterns recur. It's easy to intervene, give counsel, or express your own opinions about who is right and who is wrong. However, doing so usually just makes the situation worse. Perhaps you have had the experience of attempting to mediate a conflict just to have both parties abruptly turn against you. Or you express a strong viewpoint in the hopes of being helpful, only to discover afterwards that your remarks were misinterpreted. The harsh reality is that family disputes tend to resolve themselves, or not, regardless of your involvement. Additionally, people often recall what was said in the heat of the moment when they eventually move on. If you take sides or voice strong opinions, you may discover that the resentment toward you persists long after the argument has been forgotten. This is particularly significant in regards to perceptions of younger family members. Although it may feel sincere at the time, expressing your true feelings about a son-in-law, a daughter's parenting style, or a relative's life decisions has a way of sticking. Even if your intentions were pure, people rarely forget when they feel scolded or judged. They may interpret what you consider to be constructive criticism as rejection, which can lead to an emotional rift that never fully resolves. Therefore, practicing choosing silence is one of the best things you can do after the age of 65. You don't need to comment on every family situation, but you also don't need to agree with everything or act as though there aren't any issues. Sometimes it's better to say, "I hope things work out for the best," or "I trust you'll make the right decision," rather than expressing an opinion. This enables you to maintain relationships without being entangled in situations that are ultimately beyond your control. Peace, not only for your family but also for yourself, can be achieved by keeping some thoughts to yourself. Fourth, your remorse for the past. It's normal to think back on past decisions, missed opportunities, and unexplored avenues as the years pass. Everyone has experienced regret at some point, but sharing it isn't always necessary, especially when it involves family. Whether it's how you managed your profession, how you brought up your kids, or choices that influenced your life, you may feel compelled to discuss things you wish you had done differently. However, people closest to you may mistake what you perceive as honesty or introspection. Children frequently take offense when their parents or grandparents show sorrow for the past. "I wasn't a good enough parent" is what your kids may hear if you say that you wish you had spent more time with your family and less time working. Even if you didn't mean to, they can interpret your statement that you regret not relocating to a different place or following a different ambition as a subliminal message that your life with them wasn't meaningful. Those remarks have the potential to fester and incite unwarranted guilt or animosity. Relationship regrets are no different. Even innocuous ways discussing a previous romantic relationship might make your spouse or other family members feel like a second-class citizen. People's perceptions of you can change even when you think back on friendships that waned or missed opportunities. They may begin to perceive you as someone who is mired in the past, rather than recalling the robust, powerful person they have always known. It's preferable to keep some regrets to yourself because of this. Thinking about them, processing them, and even drawing lessons from them is acceptable. However, focusing on them in front of family doesn't alter the past. The majority of the time, it merely burdens your loved ones. Although the past cannot be changed, you have complete control over how you choose to live with it going forward. Please leave a number 4 comment below to let me know if you're still watching this video and finding these ideas helpful. To ensure you don't miss any videos, I advise you to subscribe and turn on the bell if you haven't already. We can keep producing high-quality content to educate and uplift you thanks to your support. All right, let's proceed. The 5th is the entirety of your financial circumstances. One of the most challenging subjects in any household is money. Although it can foster unity, it can also lead to stress, miscommunication, and even conflict. As you age, you might feel compelled to tell your family more about your financial status, including your savings, your estate plans, and any financial difficulties you may be experiencing. While there are situations in which discussing specific financial issues makes sense, there are other situations in which being overly forthcoming about money might backfire. One of the main dangers of disclosing too much about your financial situation is that it may alter how you are perceived by others. Some family members may start to view you differently if they know you have a sizable sum saved. They may even start to anticipate financial assistance or make subtle allusions to what they hope to inherit. However, if you disclose that you're having money difficulties, you may find that your loved ones become too concerned about you or, in certain situations, even start to doubt your financial judgment. In any case, money has a way of changing relationships, and once it does, it's difficult to reverse. The question of independence is another. Your relatives may feel more qualified to provide you financial advice as you age. Whether you ask for it or not, the more they understand about your financial situation. In an attempt to help, some people may even begin making decisions for you, but in practice, they are robbing you of your autonomy. Because you disclosed information that, in retrospect, may have been better kept confidential, you may find yourself abruptly advised where you should live, how much money you should spend, or what is best for you. This does not imply that you should keep everything a secret, of course. Having your plans well documented is a good idea if you have a trusted individual, such a financial advisor or an executor for your estate. Beyond that, however, sharing only what is absolutely essential and nothing more is frequently the best course of action. You may keep control of your own financial future and steer clear of needless stress, tension, or unsolicited advice by keeping some information private. You already know why this is one of the most crucial things to be aware of. If you've ever observed how conversations about money may alter how people behave, you are ultimately responsible for managing your finances, and keeping some information confidential helps to maintain the love and respect that underpin your relationships with your family rather than financial demands. Concluding remarks. As we conclude this video, pause to consider the 5 topics we covered. The goal of keeping some things private is to preserve your relationships, your peace, and your dignity, not to be aloof or secretive. Not everything has to be disclosed, and sometimes keeping things to yourself is the best course of action. Consider your own life. Have you ever told family members something that you subsequently realized altered their perception of you? Or perhaps you've refrained from speaking and later come to the conclusion that it was the proper thing to do. Experience is frequently the source of wisdom, and as we age, we discover that some things are best kept private. The good thing about growing older is that you become more aware of what really counts, such as your freedom, connections, and peace of mind. You can keep your relationships intact and retain control over your own life by sharing just the things that are important to you. The goal is to preserve what makes such relationships meaningful, not to exclude people. We would be delighted to hear from you. Tell us about one thing you learned today and how you intend to apply it in your life in the comments section below. We value your opinions, so please feel free to express them. We are greatly inspired and encouraged by reading your remarks. Please like, subscribe, and share this video if you found it entertaining and useful. We can keep producing high-quality content to educate and uplift you thanks to your support. We appreciate your time and hope to see you in the next video.